This is like Fort Knox to get into. So today I'll be trying out the Bourjois Healthy Mix Anti-Fatigue Concealer. So I purchased the shade 51 Light, which is the lightest shade available, and I picked this up for $20. So we're creeping into high-end territory. And there are only 3 different shades available in the line. So if you're new here, this is my series where I wear tested concealer that I've never tried before for 10 hours. If you happen to be in the mood to binge watch, I will link my playlist for this series in the description box below. So let's check out some of the claims about this product on their website. Oh my god, they have a freaking paragraph. Because the eye contour is the first zone that reveals the slightest fatigue, Bourjois wakes it up with a healthy mix concealer. This formula has a fine and light texture that ensures a natural, undetectable finish. The only trace it leaves behind is a distinct radiance. The skin appears free of dark circles and any visible trace of shadow. Healthy Mix Concealer contains ingredients that help revive the radiance of the eye contour. The spherical powders blur smooth and leave a silky finish, while light reflecting pigments give immediate radiance. Okay, so they have a lot to say. So if you're enjoying this video while you're watching it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss anything. If you want to know my thoughts on the Healthy Mix Concealer and how it applies and wears throughout the day, don't go anywhere, just keep watching. So I'm also filming a review. Ooh, big hair just landed in my mouth. Sorry. I'm also filming a review today for the Hello Flawless Oil-Free Oxygen While Brightening Makeup from Benefit. So if you're interested in watching this review, I will link it up in the eye. So the packaging for this, oh god, this is like Fort Knox to get into. Come on. What the heck is this? It's a twist up. Oh, interesting. For whatever reason, I was expecting a pump. Okay. So it has this little doe foot applicator, but it's in a bottle. So I'll start with what dark circle looks worse. They're both looking pretty dark and circly. So I will start with that. All right. So we'll just dab and we'll start with that. Even that's a bit much for me, but oop, wrong eye. Oh well, viewfinder's backwards. Oh well, we'll just go with it. That's the side with concealer, that's the side without. So this is not a full coverage cakey concealer. You know, it did a good job at brightening. My under eye, when you compare it to the other side, does look brightened. It's definitely a very lightweight concealer with a bit of a sheen to it. I haven't set it with any powder and it doesn't appear to be settling into fine lines at all. The coverage isn't that great, but it definitely has brightened my under eyes, especially when you compare it to the purple on the other side. All right, so I'm just gonna do the other eye and then we'll get a look at this. So definitely not a full coverage cakey concealer, but from just looking at first glance in the viewfinder, it did a great job of blurring out the pink and the purple on both sides. The real test for me though will be these inner corners of my eye. That's where I'm prone to some serious under eye dryness. So if something's gonna go wrong with the concealer, that's typically the first place it will go wrong. So far, everything's looking good. The only thing I'm not completely 100% sold on is the doe foot applicator, but that's my own personal neurosis. I don't like doe foot applicators or sponges going near my eye. Just because typically anything that touches your face over time builds up bacteria. This sponge I can clean. This I can't. It's just my own personal paranoia about bacteria and pink eye and whatever. Other than that though, everything else with this concealer is looking really good. So I will check in with you guys in 5 hours and let you know how it's been holding up. The time now is 4:14. I've had this on for about 6-7 hours. Let's get a look at this. So I'll zoom you guys in and you can take a peek at my under eyes. So, okay, it's not looking too great. Hold on, let me just back up a bit. Yeah, see, it's settled in there and it's starting to crease and it looks awful. This is supposed to be hydrating. When a concealer is hydrating, it doesn't do that. It normally plumps up those lines. It doesn't emphasize them. And then plus right in the corners, This one's a bit of a clinger. Like it's clinging to all this under eye dryness. Yeah, so far this really isn't working out all that well for me. It's making my under eyes look really haggard. Right in here, there's this big wad of product that's just clinging to a ginormous dry patch right in the corner. So, and it's doing it on the other side too. I don't know what's going on, but the product seems to be gravitating to the inner corners of my eye and just like clinging right there. And I think this one I find exceptionally irritating because it's a $20 concealer. I mean, I have drugstore concealers that are $5 to $6 that do a far better job than this, that don't emphasize fine lines, that don't emphasize texture, they don't cling to dryness, and they're a fraction of the cost. So far this one is not my favorite, and it doesn't seem to be working out that well for me, but I will check in with you guys at the end of the night and let you know how this concealer has held up through the rest of the day. So the time is 8:41. Let's get a look at this. I don't know. The good news is it hasn't gotten any worse. The bad news is it still looks not so great. Hold on. Oops. I'm just gonna zoom you guys in just a wee bit. Yeah, like right there, there's that area that's all clinging to dryness, and I'm apparently symmetrical because I'm having it over here too. But this area is completely dried out, and over here is completely dry out, and those fine lines are severely emphasized. Like, that's an area that I just don't want people noticing. That whole area there is completely dehydrated, and of course it's just like magnifying my fine lines. When it comes to concealer, I have two needs that are, actually I have three needs that are essentials for me. I can't have concealer that cakes and clings to dryness in the inner corners of my eyes. I can't have concealer that emphasizes like fine lines here. And I need it to diminish my dark circles, which I get right through here. This one did a decent enough job blurring out the dark circles, but everything else that came with it just has made my under eyes into a big old mess. And seeing as this concealer comes with a $20 price tag, do I think it's worth it? Like I said earlier, there are drugstore concealers that are a third of the price of this one that do a way better job. They don't settle into fine lines, and they don't dehydrate your under eyes. And seeing as this one also comes with a $20 price tag, $20 for gross under eyes? I don't think so. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!